Please make sure your mic's probably a few more than what we have.
Yeah, you got a waste oil furnace over there?
Yeah.
Oh, did? No more? Okay. Was, you gotta waste oil and I'm always looking for somebody to take it.
Change your,
It's had its day.
I think trying to figure out.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Here.
Okay.
yeah, what you emailed me, I made a copy and
I
gave.
think we added on.
Okay. We are on the line and live right now, everybody, just so you know. Yeah. All the time. Oh. A little bit. All right, turn it forward, yeah. Yep. All of these things. How is the body? And oh, yeah, that, but.
So. Well, I can explain it to everybody else. Electric and yeah.
We're gonna need a copy. Got the 300, the 302. Stone chip. Waste oil word. Oh, they just worded it different. Air pump for waste oil. On here, it's air operated waste oil pump. Pole saw, floor jack, pressure washer. So just the last three items are different. Okay. I get to this. Yours is gonna go to Maureen.
Okay.
Is that okay? You want a copy for your records?
No, that's fine. Go give me-
Okay. First of all, an update with the budget. Lee and I have worked several days on it. We got all the numbers from like Dale, Maureen, and so on. And we were able to finally get all the numbers packed into the budget. To let you know, I looked at payroll increases 2% and 3%. Highway is automatic 3% as because of the contract. But I wanted to see how it would affect our budget by doing it 2 and 3. So we've sent all of that. We just got the numbers from the fire district. And I asked the lead to please send that off to Shelby as well, so we can get that into the budget. She'll send back a budget to us, then I'll be able to see what the numbers are like then, when everything's all crunched together and compared to the last 2 years. And we'll see where we stand. Then what we'll do is we'll have another meeting with Shelby, crunch them one more time, and then we as a board will sit down and take a look to see what we want to do with those numbers. Add, delete, and not delete, but subtract some numbers in some of the areas. Okay?
Yes.
So that's where we're at with the town budget right now. To let you know also, got a very disturbing email. In fact, all the supervisors in Central and Eastern Orleans County got an email from Monroe Ambulance. Now, I've been, as well as a couple of others, have been saying we should give Monroe 1 more year so we can see how they're doing comparison on the numbers. And because before we signed the last contract, we asked them what they could foresee and insofar as what payments would be this coming year. And they're saying they should be the same or less, especially if Kendall signs on, which they're planning on signing on this year. So we had no problem with that. Well, it was 200,000 that we agreed to for 2023. The email that we all got from the CEO of Monroe Ambulance now says $450,000 to $500,000 for this coming year, and I automatically told a couple of the other guys, hell no.
Bait and switch.
No, that's it. Now we got a meeting with Monroe, all the supervisors meeting with Monroe next week, and he's going to get grilled. That's for sure.
In their email, do they have reason why compared to what they said it was gonna be?
Oh, he has all kinds of excuses coming on.
Yeah.
That, almost 2 pages. You know, expenses, trying to get the staff, trying to make staff stay on board, you know, because of shortage. Well, hell, just a week ago, they are pulling out of Wyoming County. What are they doing with all the staff they had working in Wyoming County? They said they're gonna concentrate on Monroe and Orleans County. Well, okay, there is a bunch of gear and staff members in Wyoming County that's not gonna be going down there anymore. Distribute them. I don't know. He's gonna have to have some good numbers for us. Anyways, in light of that, because we have been tossing Mercy around, but like I said, we're talking of giving Monroe one more year. Mercy has, Adrian, excuse me a minute. Adrian, could you let Lee know I can see this microphone is red? So ask her to bring 2 of those rechargeable batteries. Yeah, so this mic can get fixed, please. Thank you. We had tentatively asked Mercy what they were talking, what they would be charging us. And they sent us the exact same. I mean, the dates have changed. It's the same stuff they sent us last year. And they're talking 180,000. Well, to me, that's a no-brainer. 180 versus 500,000. That's a big savings for us here in this town. And one thing I like, because I told Mr. Coyle, the CEO, I said, I look at what you're talking about, maybe increasing in cost. I said, I'll tell you right now, the town of Barry will pull up. Because I look at Mercy, and between Batavia and Albion, there's quite an overlap. I know the town of Barry will have proper coverage. So I said, you know, your prices better be down. That's why I told him last time we met. And then he comes down with 450 and 500.
Well, the other supervisors, did you talk to any of them on it? They
3
pretty
of
much-
them, just 3 of them so far.
Pretty much all said the same thing, this is crazy.
Especially right now, we're trying to get our butt, $500,000.
Well, especially if they quoted 200 plus. Yeah. And a
Two
year
hundred
ago-
was last year, a year ago.
And then they didn't even start.
They didn't start on time. Well, that's because they were waiting for all the towns to sign on. We had a couple of towns, town boards kept tabling it. So as a result, it was held up, and that's why we didn't get started early. But the point is that last year, that 200,000 was spread over 6 towns. This year, 500,000 could be spread over 7 towns, because Kendall signed it. So it's like, what, I don't know. We've got more towns to carry the load. You know, so it would have been less for us if we stayed at the 200,000.
But
We would have been
they
paying
more than
less.
double.
When's their contract up?
As of the calendar end of the year.
Calendar year?
So that's something we're negotiating with right now. On it. Ambulance, I mean, okay, go ahead.
I had found a way all the time. Stuff. Or they go out to. But they can't go.
Well, it depends on what the out of service is, if they are transported.
No.
No, no. Okay. I know that,
Unavailable, out of service. They're done for the night, because they don't have. I'm guessing that's what.
before my meeting, I plan on hitting up 911 center to get numbers
Yeah,
again,
maybe they
like I
can,
did last time.
maybe they can shed some light on. I just hear that a lot, between, say, 6 and 9.
Yeah, where do you get those skins? Radio shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's a county read.
You got the county radio, okay. Fire scanners, whatever they do. Where do you get? Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, I see it's red. These. So, yeah. I don't think you'd argue with me, and 500,000 versus 180,000, so. We'll go to, and like I said. Mercy overlaps on here, I think. All this. So, I know that at least one thing. If we go with Mercy, I feel sorry for the northern towns. Only because they're kind of outside that 15-minute circle. In Albion.
Also heard that they have been originated to Blackwood as well.
No, Niagara, yeah. They've been very busy in Niagara, yeah. But that contract runs out here in another couple of months. I think the end of October. That contract with Niagara runs out.
Those are really our two only options.
Yep.
As far as coverage.
I doubt that Medina will get more vehicles and hire on more staff and something, yeah. They cover 3 towns now, yeah. Yep. 3 towns, 2 villages. AMF. It's in Monroe County. They have a contract with Monroe County itself. They don't desire or wish to come out this way. It was one of those companies we were checking. Okay. On the comp plan, I spoke with Barbara Johnston. She called me and I said, your ears must have been burning. We were just talking about you yesterday. And she's got everything all put together. I am waiting at this time. The Zoning Board of Appeals meet on Monday night. And they are on their agenda for that night, they are to appoint someone from the ZBA. I've got an appointment from the planning board. We've got ours from the town board. And the town assessor is on board. So those will be the 4 town people right there. Got a business person and 2 residents in the community at this time. So it's getting to be a comfortable number right now.
And
Assume-
all of that, because if Dad is gonna be the point of contact person for that, like he
For
really
the
should
town
be.
board, yes.
No, for the whole comprehensive plan, that
No.
project. Because if he's representing the town, that, and the town board, that means you said that there's to be 1 person representing the town board,
And that's George.
and that's him. And so that means that he is point person, and that's what the resolution stated, is that he is to be the point person,
For the
the
town board.
chair, no, the chair of the comprehensive plan.
Then I'm gonna have to check because we might develop it. Because they run the whole show. The committee, they get ideas, they discuss things with them, talk about how we can send out a survey, what should be on the survey, talk about all the different components. And then Labella, we're paying them to do all the work.
But the chair, so Labella in the contract, it stated, which is why I brought up the resolution, that there is to be 1 point of contact for the town. And we voted unanimously as a town board that George McKenna was going to be the point of contact for the town, which means that he should be the one doing all the communication with Barbara Johnson, reporting out, facilitating, having the list and sharing who is going to be serving on the committee, looking through who submitted things, which really should be shared with the entire town board, who submitted information and requests to serve. Right. I can read you the resolution that I sent to Maureen. That is what I read word for word at our August meeting. It's according to the agreement submitted by Labella, it states the following: client's responsibilities. Client shall designate a representative authorized to act on its behalf with respect to the project. All notices required under this agreement shall be given to that representative. I move that Dr. McKenna is a designated representative and serves as the chair of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. That is what was emailed directly to Maureen, and that is what I read at the meeting.
Taking minutes now for Maureen.
Maureen asked me if I were to do a resolution to type it up and be able to share it with her to make it easier. And so that is what I did, so that at her request. Prior to me saying it, I had it typed so that I would make sure that I said it accurately. Yeah. 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 So I was just, yeah, so I went to the minutes and I was gonna mention
Point
that needs to be.
According to what's supposed to be in the minutes, he is to run the whole show. When we hired Labella to do the whole show. No, yes.
Right.
No, you're the point person for the town.
And Labella is hired by the town, so Labella is working on behalf of the.
And it should be, and the whole idea of going with it is so that we had somebody who is non-committed to the town, third party.
I think that we're getting a little bit off on, the idea is not, it has nothing to do with whether Labella is involved or not. It has to do whether you are not the point person for this.
I'm not the point person. I agree to that.
So then,
And I've been just trying to get things rolling, just like Jordan said. He wants to get the ball rolling on.
so he asked for the information, to share the information and let him do his job.
I'm letting Barbara do her job, yes.
No, she is supposed to be, according to the resolution that we passed last month unanimously, she is supposed to be communicating with him, not with you.
I'm going to have to listen to the recording from that. I want to hear exactly how it was worded.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Labella will coordinate all project activities with an advisory committee established by the town. We expect that advisory committee will meet 6 times during the planning process, and according to what Barbara said, it'd be once per month in the evening. The following schedule identifies potential topics for each meeting. So there it is right there. Labella will coordinate all project activities with an advisory committee established by the town.
Right, so But that is not, if you continue on in that contract,
Yeah,
it says, that client's responsibilities, the client shall designate a representative authorized to act on its behalf with respect to the project. All notices required under this agreement shall be given to that representative.
okay, but once again, it's gonna be Labella.
No, Labella is not the town, the client. We are the
Labella is
client.
gonna give the material, the information to George. George can disseminate.
Right, but that's what
Thank
I'm
you.
saying. So it goes directly from Barb Johnson to Dr. McCall. There is it is not necessary for that information. He will then share that information with all of us on the town board.
No
So-
problem.
Then, so you have, or I know
Georgie can handle everything.
asked for Barbara Johnson's contact information. He has asked for the people who submitted so that he could get moving on it, and you did not.
Let's get going on this.
You just got back from, didn't I tell you she just got back from vacation, George? Did I not say that? And she went on vacation. She just got back. She was at her niece's wedding here just the last couple of days, this past weekend.
Called and left a message. I'm just waiting for the name.
Jesus.
Just wait till you get them all together. That's fine. Just kind of, you're dragging your feet and get kind of moving.
I am dragging my feet. Everybody get that? I am dragging my feet. This is from Dr. George McKenna.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Do we need to take a break?
Nope,
So,
we're good.
so if you're waiting for the zoning, that's the last name we're waiting.
That's the
for.
last name we need to get, yes.
So, and then you're gonna share all the names with me. You'll give me the contact information for Barb. I'll do that.
Yeah, I was
I'll
gonna
do
send
the-
a, because Barbara asked me to please send out a letter to everybody. But I'll give it to you and you can send that contact or that information, that letter out to everybody. How's that sound?
Also need to know if she's okay for the grant. That's
The grant,
writing the grant.
she is writing the grant. It's a $25,000 grant. She doesn't know exactly when we would get it. There are matching funds of $8,000. She said what we pay them would be our matching funds of $8,000. So we don't have to come up with extra money for that. Okay?
So once we pay her that would be what either match, and so we would not any extra.
That 8,000 part what we would be paying, yes.
We don't have to pay twice.
We do not have to pay them for writing the grant. That is all included in their
And that-
fee, that one fee. Yep.
Good.
I'm sorry for getting that information already.
No, that's fine. That's what I was just requesting. Got it.
Okay? And that's it on the items I have, other than next month for our workshop, I will, if it's okay, I will get out all the fees so that we can go over the fees. I've had that on the workshop agenda for probably a year now. And I'm tired of looking at them sitting there on my desk. So next month,
Peaceful one.
it'd be water fees for different things, fees for building and construction,
Permits and stuff.
different permits, yes,
Didn't we wait
Is-
for water?
we did. We did the water rate, yes.
And these have already been sent out to, because I know that we worked on these before, and I know one of the things we had talked about was making sure that Dale and Maureen and Shelley went through and gave what they feel would be, like how much time they worked on them, or what they felt would be appropriate.
Not only those people you mentioned, but the planning board and the zoning board as well also receive copies. I get people. The league had collected for me from other towns what their fees are. so that we can see some of
Sure.
them. We're either about the same or below what a lot of the other towns. Then there's some items that they charge fees for, which I don't think we need to even look at.
Can you, just email out the most recent document that we'll be reviewing, just so that we can
I
take a
will
look
get
at it
that
ahead of
out
time?
in the next week or two, yes, because I gotta go digging through on that. Okay, and that's about it that I have for the workshop at this time.
I have a couple of questions, if you
Go
don't
ahead.
mind. One of the things that, we had talked about, and I didn't see it on the agenda, I could be wrong. But is, I did see it in the bills, so I know that there's been action on it, the water contract with Albion. I know that
That's-
we had tabled that, oh,
Thing
wait,
here,
it is on there. Okay, maybe it just wasn't on what was emailed out.
this got changed the half hour before.
Okay, so the extension, like, are they looking,
We're
are
gonna
things
extend it
looking good?
One. Jim Bell's been on vacation for the last 2 weeks. And we have a couple of things. The only thing right now that we need to discuss with him, and she wants to talk with Jim. Is Jim Bell's their attorney. Is that we're looking at them chipping in some money on the 12-inch line between water pump station 2 and the elevated water tower. As Dale has pointed out, that has always been just kind of a general assumption that they would help us out with it. But looking at the old contract, it says that town of Berry will maintain the maintenance of it. So we want to clear that up.
And they're good with the 75-25?
With a 12-inch, I think we could go with 50-50 on that, but definitely with the water tower. It says in the new contract that we are looking at based on whatever the water flow is. Every quarter, they're sending us now, starting as the first day of the calendar year, New Year. They'll be paying 18 cents per thousand of the water that they use that we're gonna put into a reserve fund.
Sorry, so.
And that will be paid out of their portion, which is 75% of the water, approximately. Every quarter is to the town of Albion.
Then in the contract, like the electric and the different other components where it's also gonna be 75-25.
It always has been, it was spelled out in the old one, and it's spelled out again in the new one.
Oh, okay, I thought that when I had looked through there, and I could be mistaken because it was a while ago that I looked through that it was 50, it was a 50-50 split and not a usage split.
No, they based the electric, telephone bill, and there's a third. Yes. So on those 3 bills, we charge them whatever their usage is. If it's 72% that quarter or 80% that quarter, we charge them a percentage of those bills. We do that already.
Okay,
Equipment, pumps,
right,
stuff that's in the pump.
right. And so that that's part of what we're gonna be proposing changing though, the 75 or to,
The pumps are already 50-50. They're still 50-50.
but it
change
shouldn't
is-
be, right? I mean, like, if we are, like, we already have the manpower expense. And then we're looking at 50-50 for fixing it when they are using the usage wise consistently for all of the history that I pulled up and did the math on has been at least 75% of that they're using 75%. So the town of Berry residents are having to pay more of the cost, including labor and manpower. And they don't have to pay as much. So that was one of the things that I had brought up before, that it's like that in general, I like having the water. I like being able to, I'm fine. I just want to make sure that the town of Berry residents aren't paying more than what we should be paying.
Well, right now, according to the old contract, if anything goes wrong, as per the contract, and who knows, when positions change, in other words, people filling those positions, who knows what would come about, but in the old contract, it states that we would take care of the 12-inch line. Berry is solely responsible for the 12-inch line. So we're going with a 50-50 on that is what we're proposing right now.
Well,
The pump has been, we work with 50-50 on the pump itself in pump 2, right? Pump house. Booster station 2.
but it should be like, I mean, this is why I went through and did all of that math that I had shared out and looked at, because that was my biggest concern with the contract and why I had brought it up previously and said, hey, this isn't an equitable, it shouldn't, when we started out, it made sense to do it 50-50. But now we have data that clearly shows we are consistently only using 25% of the water. We are taking the cost of maintaining, taking the cost of, logistics, figuring out the billing and all of that aspect. And the Berry residents are the ones paying for that when the Albion water users are using 75%. So I was pushing for either a usage-based agreement, stating that, based on the 3 previous years of usage, because I know water districts change, things change, saying based on an average of the 3 previous years of usage, that's how any costs will be divided percentage-wise, or based on the fact that we have data going back how many years that we can do, that we can show and prove that 75%, 25% is a much wiser position for the town of Berry to take.
If we,
Is that where the 18 cents comes in?
The 18 cents comes in because they utilize so much more of the water. Yes. And that's why, rather than a pass-through fee that we were talking about, they proposed an 18 cents. I was going to say a 10 cents, and they came back with 18. So 18 cents per 1,000 gallons. And they go through a little over 1 million a quarter, I think. I think it's right around about 1 million gallons a quarter that they go through.
So
Don't we think that 18 cents, however many gallons it will take? Probably.
well, that's what I would want. If we can document, because maybe they did the math, like how we need to do the math ourselves and say, would that 18 cent,
Right now, I think we're
Which-
saying the 18 cents is towards the water tower or maintenance and repair of the water tower. Because that's where most of the wear and tear is at this time. We've been very lucky. We just passed an inspection on it 2 years ago, where they inspected the inside of that water tower and the outside, and we're in good shape right now. Okay,
and the 18 cents is definitely for their water use. They owns that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we'd have to do
So
the math.
we have to, yeah, we can't like just say like, oh, we were thinking, like, and we have all the data, we have the numbers.
Yeah.
We can go through and make sure that we're being covered for our expenses.
Yeah.
And we can document our expenses. We're not trying to take advantage or to,
Just
you
don't
know,
lose money.
right. We don't want
Well,
to
right
have,
now we are, and
the-
18 cents is additional now that we didn't have before. But that doesn't go into our pockets. That's basically, we're acting like a bank. We're gonna be holding that money for the town of Albion for repairs or anything on that water tank.
so, and that's what we charge out to all of our residents, that $5, $15 per quarter for that fee. So-
$60 a year, yes.
Right, and that, for all of our water users. And so, and there is not, that charge doesn't go on to any of the Albion or the 75% of the water usage. That there is like that, those types of things. And that's why I thought that we were on the same page when we talked about this before, and I thought that that was all gonna be incorporated into the contract and into this discussion with Albion, because right now we are losing money and the resident and
We're
on
not
the back.
losing money right now. If we had to do repairs and so on, yes, I agree.
And
But at this time, no. So I don't want that misconception going out.
but we have been collecting funds for those types of repairs from the residents,
From our residents.
from our residents, and we haven't, and that's only 25% of the water usage. 75% of the water usage, we have
In
not
the
been.
original contract, if anything were to happen at the water tower, any repairs, maintenance and so on was split 50-50.
But we know that there's a 25% inequity there.
Yes,
And so that 25%
that's why we pushed for this.
is what we need to make sure that we are, and make sure that that is covering the costs of, because like we also are the ones that are putting the aspect that, like our labor guys and our, there's a lot of logistical things there that I'm concerned aren't being.
Well, the one thing I have on the agenda there, as you can see, is to extend the water agreement into our next board meeting. Because we want more time to work on a few things.
Is there any way that you could share with us what currently is being proposed?
I thought I sent that out to you.
You did,
Okay,
I've seen my mailbox.
your
And the
actual mailbox or your,
I looked at it this evening, so
it wasn't in mine.
If I put
Yeah.
it in one, I put it in them all. I'm sorry.
Well, I've got everything here that was in my mailbox when I just came here and it's not in there.
I don't know.
I don't.
I did the one, but I read it this morning.
I show.
Oh. I have water district stuff, but I don't see anything about the contract with Albion.
What was the problem?
I was looking up contract. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, can I get some more questions answered for those? How much is it? Oops. Yeah, I got something.
Just need to do it. So. Dale, I'm reading this. It says that the town of Berry agrees for the sole responsibility of maintaining the 12-inch distribution line running between Booster Pump Station number 2 and the $150,000 gallon storage tank and the Culver Road pit. And then Albion agrees that it is solely responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the master meter located at Route 31 and 19. So, whereas the town of Albion and the town, that any maintenance expense related to the power line road pit, the Eagle Harbor Road pit, shall be divided equitably among the towns. But it doesn't include the Culver Road pit or the storage tank. Okay, and there's no water going out of that for Albion. Oh, okay. Okay, so that one is coming back in. The water is, it's still from our tank, but it's going out to Albion and back in.
So the power line road pit, the harbor road pit, those are the ones that 75% of the water is going to Elgin. 25%.
And the,
No. That, saying that is not true. What goes through those, town Elgin water. That's how we measure what goes. Our 25%.
Okay.
It doesn't go through those two pits, those two groups, and then comes back there. Never goes through
Those going over.
and the $150,000 gallon storage tank, are they referencing the raised tank? Or are they the storage tank on 3198? Oh, okay. So that is referencing the elevated tank.
This run. The power line pit, Eagle Harbor Road pit, their sole responsibility is for metering the water flow. 100%.
Want to know if we should take some responsibility with it, because
That's how we're getting
that's
paid.
how we're
I
getting
get
that's
paid. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
But
All right.
that being said, our storage tank is holding water for the town of Albion as well. Right. Right. And so that's where in my thought process is that that to me is bigger than the 12, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's a lot bigger than the 12-inch distribution line, is that we would be our residents would be 100% responsible for for that tank, even though we're only using 25% of the water for the elevated tank. Right now, we're at 100%, that it's 100% on us for cost for maintenance, is what it says in this contract.
On the 12-inch, you're saying, right?
No, and the
Oh, on the tank? No.
150,000, yeah. It says, whereas the town of Berry agrees that it is solely responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the 12-inch distribution line, which you were saying, running between Booster Pump Station number 2. Oh, it's just saying where it's, okay. And the 150,000, so it's saying that line
That line.
running from those, oh, good, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That makes me feel a lot better. Okay. I misread that, I apologize. Yeah, no, that's fine. That makes me feel a lot better because I was,
And this one you got, the newest one that you just sent me today. Okay. And it's 2 minutes to 7, so I'm gonna shut us down here so that I can get it set up for the board meeting now. No. I can turn it off right here. Which